for being here. My name is Aziza. People call me That Foodie Lawyer. Welcome everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. For a minute, we considered postponing this event because hearts are heavy and morale is down. But we also thought we should not be crippled by what's going on back home, and some people actually do need this type of distraction anyway. So it's why we're going ahead to have this afternoon. I hope I know we might all not be in high spirits, but I hope that this will serve as some sort of a much needed distraction to take our minds away from all the craziness going on back home. And on mute.
Yes.
Okay, so Temidayo is going to take over now. I hope everyone is okay. I hope our families back home are safe, and we pray that everything would turn out good very soon. Temidayo, I'm going to give you the floor because I reckon we don't have a lot of time. So take it away. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Hazazat. Hi everyone, my name is Temidayo of Triple T Kitchen, and we all know why we're here today, just to learn about plating, food plating. But like Haziza said earlier, we actually thought we don't think it's a good idea for us to go on with this. That's why we've not been able to talk about it much in the past few days. We don't want to seem insensitive, but like Aziza said, like we don't want to be crippled with what has happened, and so many people might just need this just to for once take their mind off what is going on. I know there is no how we can totally forget or take our mind off it. It's just to keep us busy, and so we could have some sanity in our mind and in the environment. So today we're just going to be, we don't have much time, but we're going to be talking and been learning about food plating. As we all know, in recent times, food plating is as important as how the food tastes, because first of all, we see the food first, and before we get to taste it. And if a food is not appealing to the eyes, believe me, nobody will want to go further step to want to have a taste. And most of and with the way social media is now, the food photography food business is something else. Like, it's all, most time we get to see food mainly on through social media, through our Instagrams and other social media, but we most of the time we get drooling when we see meals because of the way they are being plated. And if you guys agree with me, you know that food plating really goes a long way with for anybody having a food business. What I mean it goes a long way is when your food is appealing to people will definitely want to have a taste of it. So that means it helps you with your marketing, and also it helps you with your sales as well. And we all know that we are not in the business to for fun. We are there for a reason. So having winning the jollof competition, as I thought, okay, it might be nice for me to give back and share ideas of how I'm able to come up with imaginations, how I'm able to come up with the way I plate my food, and it's so appealing to everybody's sights. And one thing I want you guys to know is that I didn't go to any school to learn this, so I might not have everything written down, like maybe like I got it from a school, but they're just the way I perceive it, the way I imagine it. So I've just been able to put things down from when I'm about to cook. What do I have to need? What do I have? How am I going to take these pictures? So without taking much of your time, like talking too much, let me just go straight into the basic things we need for food plating. Just give me a moment while I open my notes. All right, so I have a few lists of things we need, and I'm sure that basic things we all have in our kitchen as well. So the first basic thing we need for plating is molds. So these are small bowls. They come in different shapes. It could be square, it could be rectangle, it could be in form of heart shape. Sorry, because I'm using the laptop, I thought I was going to use my phone so that it would be easy, but then everything is all scattered. So like I said, we need molds. So these are small bowls that comes in different shapes: square, round, heart shape, shell shape. So they are the kind of bowls we use in molding food like jollof rice, fried rice, white rice, and yeah, beans. So that's the white beans, the not the porridge beans this time around. So the next thing we'll be needing is spoons. These are general things we all have in the house, but then there are different shapes of spoons. Sometimes you might need a teaspoon to pick little things. You want to maybe add some designs, or you might need the tablespoons, or maybe bigger spoons, as well as like spoons we use in serving food in the kitchen. So we also need spatulas. Spatulas help us to drop tiny objects on the in the plate, and also we could use this as a spread to create some effect in the plate. Like if you guys remembered, okay, no, I didn't do it for the jollof competition. I might just be. I pray we have a bit of time. I'm sure you guys how to use some of these instruments. So you could use this as a spread, like you want to, like for dessert or puree, you could use this to spread it to just make some effect on the plates. And also we'll be needing squeeze bottle. I don't think okay, this is a squeeze bottle, though it comes, there's something in there already, but there are different shapes of the tip of squeeze bottle. There are some that comes in a very tiny tip, while some are wide tips as well, depending on what kind of effect you want. We need tweezers also. These are used for picking tiny objects. And of course, because they are meals, you don't want to use your hand to pick them, except you're wearing a glove. So, but it makes it easier and makes it neat to pick tiny objects. Like maybe you want to dress like a plate of white rice. You know, white rice is plain, but you want to add some effect to it. So you could just use this to pick maybe like some green beans or some sweet potatoes, and just, I mean, sweet corns, just to give it some kind of beauty. And also we'll be needing ring molds, but I don't think I have an example of that. Let me see. All right, so this is what this looks like. So I've used this in the time past to cut my yam. Like I plated a yam and egg, and I wanted all the yam to be in the same size. There are different sizes to this, but I think I have the biggest one with me here. So it's called ring mold. And you want to have paper towel or napkin, because there's no way you won't sometimes soil the plate, and you want something good. You don't want your plate looking dirty. So you have to definitely need paper towel and napkin with you. So that's that for the basic things we need for plating meals. And there are quite a number of things, but these are just the basic things that you could use, and I'm sure you could definitely find around the house, around the kitchen area. All right, so the next one will go down to photography props. So these are the things that gives life to your photography, like that gives another meaning, that helps enhance the beauty of the main objects in the picture. So we're talking about like tablecloths. You want to have nice tablecloth. You don't just want to put your your meal on a bare table, or yeah, unbeatable. You want it to be, and so sometimes we use PVC. That's the white background I usually use. And you want to have good, maybe 7 trays or boards. You want to have flowers or plants. Have examples of these. I usually use this flower, this rose flower, this flower, I mean. Sometimes I take it out and do not use the vase because it might be too tall and the beauty might not show in my plate. So sometimes what I do is I just bring it out and place it very close. I don't know if you guys can see. I just place it this way and I place my food this side. So when I'm taking the pictures, I try to blur the flower so you still get to see it, but it's not my main focus. So, but it gives beauty to the picture as well. And also you want to have you could have spice jars. We all have spice jars at home, but you want something that rhymes, maybe same spice jar for salt, pepper, for black pepper, anything. And sometimes you could use jotter. You could just play around with things you have at home. I have a jotter here. I could just place the jotter very close to where I'm going to put the meal and put a pen on it and just take the picture. Though this is not my main focus, it's going to be the food, but then it gives it another feel. Like it makes it cool, and it's things we can all relate with, like day-to-day things. So also you could have like a picnic basket. I don't have that. You can have a picnic basket just around where the food is and take the pictures, capture everything together. You could have, like, sometimes it could be just drinks. You could have maybe like orange drink. You don't want to, sometimes there's some food that looks so boring, like pepper soup. To me, it looks boring because the color is not so sharp because it's kind of brown. So if I want to take picture of pepper soup, I will have to think deep of what can I add to my pepper soup to give it life. I could just put a cup, a transparent glass cup with maybe orange juice. It's going to give it a contrast because the pepper soup is almost like brownish, dull looking food. Aside the wishy inside. Another thing I could do for pepper. Sorry, I'm teaching already because I'm just remembering some things. Another thing I could do if I want to take pepper soup picture is to make sure I zoom into the meal. So you might not really see the whole bowl, but when I zoom into the beef, then that's appealing to the eye because of course we would all recognize what is them. It could be roundabout or shaki. So that's another way to take that picture. But if you want to capture the whole bowl, you might want to put something that will give it life, that will give it color. You could slice like you could put leafy green veggies in to give it some color. You could also slice like a red bell pepper, even though you might not even eat it, but slicing like a red bell pepper, like with a heart shape on top of the soup would give it contrast and make it appealing to the eye. And also you might want to have raw food. Raw food, what do I mean like raw food? Sometimes after preparing a pot of, you might cook a soup and you want to take the whole pot of soup, maybe because the pot itself is beautiful, or you don't want to go to stress of dishing the bowl, and you just want to take the soup as it is in the pot. You could put like the purple onions. The other onions might not really work because it doesn't really have color. But you could put the purple onion. You could put like maybe 1 or 2 habanero pepper around the pot. You could put red. You could put tomatoes. These are showing the items you use in cooking the stew, but that's not the only message you're sending. You also want to bring out the beauty of the picture. So this would give it contrast and make it appealing to the eye as well. So that's about photography props. There are so many things you could think of as well, but those are the little ones I could just pick out. And another example of the raw food, let's say you're taking a picture of maybe a cereal, a bowl of cereal. You could just, I'm sure you guys must have seen that, where you see them sprinkle like maybe some cereal on the on around the plate, on the table, or on the what's it called, the tray, or some, or sprinkle like granules or cashew nuts, you know, or so many things, or maybe what's it called, sesame flour, or any of those seeds. They could also work as raw food materials for photography props. So the next thing I'll go into is photography tool. Of course, you want to have a camera. You could either use a phone camera or a normal digital camera. For me, most of the time, I do use my phone because it's very, very easy. Like, I have two cameras. I have one for video and I have one for just pictures. But I find my phone very, very easy. Like, I don't want to walk upstairs to go and carry one camera and all that. And remember, most of the time when you're working with food, you have to be fast with taking the pictures. So planning is also part of the thing you need for food photography. So you want to have a phone camera or a digital camera, and also light. Lighting is very important. We could use, we can use the natural light, which is the best. Believe me, you don't have to edit. If you have to edit, it's not going to be so much. The natural light is the best light you could get. But for most of us in North America and not in Nigeria, we might have issue with natural light because of our weather. Like now it's fall, you hardly get to see sun. It's going to be winter soon where you won't see sun. So you would want to get light. I'm going to just turn my laptop a bit just for you to see. I have two flash, two lights around here. So this is one, and this is one on this other end. So you want proper lighting for your picture, because when it is dark, no, we're not going to see what you have in there, and it's going to affect the outcome. Even if you have the best decoration out there, if you don't have proper lighting, you won't get the right thing you want. And also you need a tripod, or a tripod to hold your phone, depending. You might, it's necessary but not all the time. But then if you want to go into, for those that are into food business, you definitely need a tripod, a tripod or tripod, however it's being called. But if it's just someone that just want to plate good food at home, maybe when you have families around, or for holidays, or for parties, or just for yourself, you just love it, then you might probably not need a tripod. And also you need a microfiber. I think I should have put this first, because your camera lens has to be clean. Like when I'm taking pictures, I'm always cleaning my lens. I'm always, when you have a dirty lens, your picture is going to be, but even when you take yourself, you'll be wondering, am I this ugly? No, it's the picture, and you have to clean it. I'm sure most of us have done photo shoots, we've worked, or we've seen cameraman or cameramen doing their thing. They are always cleaning their lens. That's to get a clear and beautiful picture. So you have to make sure your phone camera is clean. Your phone lens is clean, or your camera lens is clean. And do not use your clothes or the tip of your clothes or your hand. Believe me, those are going to leave particles or thumbprints on it. Make sure you're using a microfiber. They are cheap. You could get on Amazon or any store around. And also you need a soft box. I don't have a soft box. I do have a soft box, but it's quite big. I can't carry it. So it's like a box that is built already for pictures. And most of the time the inside is always white, and it comes with a light. I'm sure you guys must have seen it on maybe Instagram. I'm only seeing on Instagram the advert, the sponsor ad, or on internet. So it's like a box, normal box shape, but it has like a zipper where you can unzip and put in your food. So it's just that the soft box is gives it light, proper lighting, and also help eliminate shadows. Because the problem you have with taking picture with the natural light is when you're taking it with sun, you might have shadows around. But then that's when you now need a reflector. So reflector is another thing. I'm sure you guys must have seen those like white plate or disc like, and it's sometimes usually silver or white, and it's kind of glittery, so it's a reflector, so it helps bounce the light back so that it doesn't leave you don't see shadow, like you don't have shadows around your plate or food. And I think those are the few things I listed for photography and photography tools that you might be needing. And now, as so when we're done with, okay, I've listed the basic tool for plating. We talk about the plates, the molds, the spoons. We've talked about photography props. Those are the items you need, and also the photography tools. Now we're now going into the proper teaching of plating. So the first thing I want you guys to put in mind is planning. Like when we are working with food photography, I mean with food, we have to plan because we don't have much time. We don't have much time to take this picture. Why I'm saying that is because when you have, like when we cook meals, and you all can testify to this, let's say, let me use example, what can I use? Any meal, jollof rice, I think jollof rice is still good jollof rice is still good. Let me look for maybe ogbono soup. When we prepare meals and it stays longer than 10, like the longer it stays, the more the food doesn't look good. I don't know if I'm able to put those words together right. Like, of course, you can't compare a food you're just bringing down from the stove with a food that you've cooked like 1 hour or 2 hours ago, or food that you've prepared since yesterday. Definitely, they're going to look different. So what I'm trying to say now is proper planning is very important. So that means before you start cooking this food, you have to get all these items ready, because by the time the food is ready, you don't have time on your side. You have to take all this picture between 10 to 20 minutes. That 20 minutes is even too long, but then it happens. So you have to take the window you have to take a good picture when your food is still looking good. It's like within 10 to 20 minutes. So that means as you're cooking, like I know most of us can multitask. If you're not able to quickly bring out all the things like I've mentioned earlier out, all your depending on what you want to cook, if you are not able to bring out all those things as you're cooking, you have to start getting all these things ready, like your table where you want to take the picture, what plates do you want to use, and what else, like your roses, your plants. It could be artificial plants. I have one plant here. It could be artificial, it could be real plants. You have to make sure you have all these things ready. So you have to plan and organize properly. You have to plan and organize, put them in place where you want this to be, where you want that to be, your towel, whatever you want to use, everything you're going to use. That's the first tip. That's the first thing you have to have in mind. Yeah, you have to be prepared so that as soon as the food is ready, you're fine. Then color, then we'll go to color and texture. What do I mean by color and texture? So the texture of the food matters. You don't want to plate a soggy rice because I don't know how it's going to look like. You get what I mean? You don't want to plate a soggy rice. And um, another issue I'm going to talk about is when you're making swallow, like you want to swallow. It's either you put it in the plastic wrapper, or you want to make any artwork out of it. Like maybe you want to turn it into, like, sorry guys, I apologize for that. Sorry, I'm in a meeting. Do you want to join the meeting? Do you want to join the meeting? All right. Sorry. So I thought it was someone that wanted the password or the link for the meeting. So I'm talking about texture. The way your food looks matters, is going to show you in the picture. So when you're making your chicken, how do you want the texture? How do you want it to be? Is it well grilled? How does it look? Is it so soggy? Like, you know, sometimes like this, I'm going to use this soft chicken as an example. Like if you want to use the soft drumstick chicken, you I don't boil that chicken, but I know some people might want to boil it. By the time you boil it, it comes out very soft. And by the time you want to grill it or something, maybe some part are out of it. So the texture matters in the way you want your picture to look like. So the way you're going to cook the food, the way you like jollof rice, for instance, every one of us wants jollof rice that is not soggy, jollof rice that it's how dry put it, like it's scattered. You're able to count each grains if you want to count it. So we want the food texture to be good so that by the time we bring it out, it doesn't the way it looks and the texture doesn't just diminish immediately before you're able to take the picture. So that make sure that the way you're cooking the food, it's the way you're cooking the food, you bring out the right texture out of the meal, and also the color. When you're grilling chicken, we know that if you're not careful, it could get burnt. I don't know why I'm just using chicken as an example. It could easily get burnt. So you don't want to bring out you don't want to bring out a burnt chicken and you want to take a picture of that. It's not going to come out fine. It's going to show that it's burnt. So that means all those have to come in when you're cooking. So you're being careful of what kind of how you want the food to come out in the picture. And color also, when talking about color also, I'm going to bring in items that we could use also to make the food look good. So when we're talking about color as well in tips for food plating, we're talking about things that gives it contrast, things, colors that, food colors that give the main dish contrast. Because like I use pepper soup as an example the other time. I'm going to use, what can I use an example now? Let me use white rice as an example again. Like when you're serving white rice, it's just plain, and God so good, you're now using white plate again. We need something to give a contrast. Thank God our stew most of the time, of course, will be red. So, but that is not enough because everybody cooks rice and stew in their house. So we need to change the game. We don't want it to look, we don't want it to be like the normal thing everybody could see. I mean, anybody could just bring up in their house. So we need to put colors into play now. So that's when we go for things like tomatoes. Like, of course, it's red. So when you put red and it's so obvious, it's, look at it. I'm putting this right in front of my clothes, and even a blind person will see that there's something different on it, on close to my dress. So you want to introduce things that have color. So these are the things I always make sure I have at home. And the rainbow peppers, I didn't bring those out. Like I'm always making sure I have those rainbow peppers because you never know when they will come in handy for you when you want to take pictures. And also I have I think this is parsley, the curly one. Sometimes I play with what else do I use? I use parsley and I use mint leaves sometimes. There are so many, when you go to the grocery store, there are so many nice leafy green vegetables that you could also play with, because these are colors that are very popping, that when you put on meals, they bring out the beauty of the meal. So next time we're going to the to choosing plates. So the kind of meal you're preparing will determine the kind of plate you're going to use. I'm not going to serve, I'm just going to use example of a plate. So guys, this is a plate I used for the jollof competition. It will look so shabby and somehow if I just put just plate of rice, just rice in this big plate. This plate is very wide, very big. So because I knew I wanted this plate, by all means, I had to think of things I could walk around to get this plate. So I'm going to while I'm teaching now, I'm going to set into practical, but I hope I'm able to tilt this so you guys can see. Sorry. So I just got up to, now I have jollof rice and I want to dress this. I just want to cite an example for you guys, and you guys will be the judge yourself. Can you guys let me know if you are seeing this, if this is okay?
We can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so I think this rice might not be enough for this plate I brought out. So I'm just going to use this square stuff. And when you're dishing the rice, you want to make sure you're pressing it inside, because if you do not fill in those gaps, there's going to be hole, and there's every tendency that this would fall off. Place this now. And these are places where your spatula and coke comes in. I'm just going to sweep it round. And I'm going to use the paper towel to clean it, to wipe away the stains around it. Just make mistakes, definitely. Sometimes you might even get it and you have to just, you might even make it and everything is going to fall off. So you just have to wash your plate and start all over again. So guys, I want you guys to judge. Okay, I have chicken here. I'm just going to put one chicken. What do you guys think? Is this a perfect plate? You can meet it yourself. Is this a perfect plate for me to plate this tiny rice and chicken?
No.
No, right? Because it's so wide. It is too wide. So when you want to plate, depending on the items you have, that will determine the food you want to, that will determine the kind of plate you're going to select when you're plating. I have another small plate here, but I don't think I want to mess everywhere. This is fair enough. I don't know if you guys can see this. Oh my God. Can you guys see? This is where the plate is. This is fair. I could put the rice here and put the chicken here and maybe just put maybe cucumber or something around just to fill up the plate. Not so much, but then it's still going to give it like a good look than using this big plate to serve just this small rice. So that's when plating comes in place. That's when choosing a plate comes in place, when you are plating your food. So the next thing we're going to talk about, and also, of course, you don't want to serve a soup inside that kind of wide plate. So you definitely go for soup bowls. And there are different types of bowls, plates you could use. We have the dinner plate, you have the gravy plate, the soup bowls, and different types of plates we have. Also, the layer and the heights. So depending on what you want to cook, what you want to prepare. Let's say I want to have a layered jollof rice, I won't start with a small one first. I'll start with a bigger mold plates, then put the one I just did, or if I have something smaller than the one I just did, then I would determine what, then that would go next. So the height and layers also matters when you are plating. When you're organizing, or when you're planning to plate food. The height, how many heights of meals do you want, or the layers, and also your plating, and your plating method. What I mean by plating method, if I'm sure you guys would see so many people and you would know that, oh, this is Triple T Kitchen. Like, it's almost like a signature for you. Like me, there are some people that I see their plates without their logo being on it. I know that, oh, this is this person's food. Kitchen Muse, she uses round plates and she puts all her food together. It looks good. So depending on what you want, sometimes it could be just it could be just you want to use different, let's say you want to serve dinner in the house. You might not use extra things, but your plate alone is what you are using to make it look beautiful. I do that most of the time because that's the easiest thing. That's the easiest plating method for me. That's when I use this, my rectangle plate. That's when you see me use this. So let's say I want to dish rice, beans, stew, plantain. Oh my God, this is very easy for me. I don't have to stress myself so much. I'm just going to put maybe rice here, put my stew here, put plantain here, put beans in this one, and I'm not going to arrange them straight like this because this doesn't make any sense. I'm going to scatter them on the table so that I'm going to make them look odd. It's always good to arrange plates in odd manners and even food in the plates. So I could just do something like this. Just arrange them in odd manner to make it look beautiful. And maybe I could have a candle. I'm sorry, I didn't mention candle. I think I mentioned candle as being part of the photography props. I could put my candle somewhere. I don't know if you guys can see everything. And just this to give it a life. Already we have different kind of meals, so they have different colors. We have rice, we have beans, we have stew, we have plantain, we have, and those are giving a picture colors already. And just to give it extra effect, I'm just going to use a few props to make it look beautiful. If I take a picture like this, believe me, it's going to come out nice. Then just arranging everything straight, and it doesn't make any sense. So arranging food and plates in odd manners gives it a good picture. Give it a good look in the picture. And let me see. And that's it for the food method. Okay, another food method, plating method is when you use, so this is basically just using your plates to get a good effect, to get a good picture out of your plating. Or the next one is when you want to add extra effect, like now I'm using other meals as an artwork. So like using, like the one I did when I used the tomatoes as a rose, and I mentioned to Aziz that I was going to do that, but I'm sorry we couldn't circulate the message for you guys to get your tomatoes and other things because of what is happening around what's happening in Nigeria. So I really apologize for that. This would have been a good opportunity for you guys to also lay your hands on it, but you could just watch and follow. Then you can do it later and send the pictures to us. You can tag us when you do your own roses, and let's see what it looks like. And if you need any other thing, you can let me know. So I'm still talking about, sorry, I'm just trying to look at my book. Okay, we're still talking about plating method. So I'm gonna teach you guys this, how to make the rolls. Now, this still falls under plating method because it's another method of getting your picture, getting your plating nice. It's different from you just using your plate. So this is when you use anything. You could use anything at all, any food at all, to create to create an effect, to create an artwork or anything to add beauty to the meal you want to serve. So I don't know if you guys can see this, if this is working. Can you all see me before I start?
Yes,
I
we
can
can
see.
see you.
Okay, you can see. All right. So for you to depending on how many roses you want to create, this is just going to give us one rose. So we just need 3 tomatoes. We need a knife. I don't know what to call it. It is the zigzag knife. It's always in the knife. It's almost like the bread knife, but I don't know if the bread knife can be sharp enough to cut it. Can you guys see that? And we need just any type of coily or small leafy green vegetable. So I'm going to start by, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the skin of the tomatoes. So I'm going to use this to take off the skin gradually. So I'm going to be careful not to touch the second layer of the tomatoes. If you guys cannot see, let me know, because I'm using my laptop and I can't really see myself. So I'm just going in a circular motion. You have to be very careful. If you are not careful, you're going to have several pieces, and you might end up using several tomatoes before you can get this. So I'm just going to go gradually with this tip in a circular motion. All I'm getting is just the skin. And also the inner parts, you don't need to throw it away. It can be used, you can still use it for your stew. If you're not going to use it right away, you can use it for egg or anything. But if you know you're not going to use the tomatoes right away, you can just freeze it. So it's not as if, because I want to do a roast, I'm not going to waste tomatoes. No, you're not. I'm trying to be careful. You know, it's not easy doing things and talking. I'm not a teacher. I hope I'm not boring you guys. Okay, I think I should have, anyway, it's good I'm doing it here. On that side, I should have done maybe 2 so that I don't keep you guys too long. I didn't wash my hand though, guys, sorry. Don't say Temi is not clean. Sometimes you get carried away. I can always rinse the tomatoes before taking it back. Hey, look at me. Oh, see guys, I'm almost cutting that one. But don't worry, if you make a mistake, we can always amend it. I wasn't being too careful there. I almost ended that part there. But thank God I caught it immediately. And you don't want to use that. This is Roma tomatoes, which is the best for this because it doesn't have so much water. So you have to be mindful of the type of tomatoes you are using before you say, and Temi said, so thin. Okay, that's not bad. So I'm gonna put it, let me just put this somewhere else entirely. So this is one. I'm going on the next one now. Guys, let me know if I'm taking too much time, that we don't have so much to learn anymore, then we'll just go into taking the pictures. It's gonna be very tricky. Yeah, I just remembered also you could use fruits also as your what's it called, photographic props, because most of our fruits are very colorful, so they could stand as of course they go with meals, like a balanced diet. You eat meal and you take, you eat fruits, but you could add them to your plating so that it gives it another feel, it gives it color. So, and this is the last one. Oh my, you see, I'm still gonna use it. So, like I say, you have to be very careful. Thank God this tomatoes is a bit big, so I might not need it. But if it makes it look too small, I might just have to fold it. But I'm going to fold it because there's no how such mistake would not happen. So it's even a good thing that it happened. Then I'll show you how you could maneuver it. You can work with it. But just that we just have to be very careful so that we don't have to go through the stress. But it's a good thing it happens. That it happened. Guys, now wow, this tomato, this particular one. Yeah, no one do rose. Just gonna clean right away. So we have the first one here. So what we just have to do is we're going to roll this in and we're going to make it as tight at the end as much as possible you could, but loose at the top. You be careful while rolling it in. You know, it's very it could be very wet. You could damp it with paper towel if you need to. Don't worry. It might not look like it when you start. It's not that difficult, but it could be difficult, Sha, because of the wet nature. Now I just cut this mistakenly, but I'm just going to add it to it. I'm going to continue that way, but you just have to be careful. And the bigger the tomato, the better for us. I don't know if you can see that the shape is coming out gradually. So it depends. Sometimes I just put in my nails so as to give it more space. I don't know if you guys can see it and if it makes sense to you. So this is the first one. I'm just going to place it on another plate. And I'm going to put it aside. And then the next one, we'll take it and roll it as well. Just like we did the first one. And you know, we're rolling the inner part inside. It's not an easy task, though. But if you're patient, you definitely get it. Like when you first start, it might not just make sense. but towards the end, you begin to see the shape. I think this one seems more easy. I think that's because the way I cut it, it's kind of bigger and fat. Mm. You might try to cut out the end part if it's giving you issue. Just dip your hand into it. So I'm placing it right beside this again. Like I said, we need 3, so the third one is going to be here. So this is the third one. And remember, I mistakenly cut this. So I'm going to start with with this one, then just join it together. So I'm just going to add it to where it ended. Now it's difficult for me to know where. Guys, it's not easy to join this one. No. I'm just going to leave it and deal with this so that we don't take too much of I don't take too much of your time. That's why it's good to get like a big size of tomatoes, because if the tomato was small, I wouldn't want to throw that away because it's going to affect the size. Even if you can't get same sizes of rows, at least you want them to look alike as much as you can. Like I said, when you're doing it, might not look like it, but you just continue. But you have to be patient and don't drag it too much. I'm having a bit of problem with this one because the first part that is supposed to give it that curve is missing. So I think I'm going to redo it while I'm going to start from this end. Oh my God. What's it bajo? Guys, this tomato, this one is not nice at all. But let's see. We'll manage. I'm going to start from the fat side. And this thing can be tiring sometimes. Don't give up. Oh. So can you guys see?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I'm just going to get this and cut it from the stem. I put one. That might be too big. Then just gonna cut these. Put it on the other end. I'm going to reduce the stem so that I don't push it up. And did this too. I just think I'm going to reduce the green thing as well. I don't want it to overcrowd it. So that's how to make our rose. I'm going to reduce part of this. Can you guys see it?
Yeah, looks beautiful.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So that's that. And this is part of the plating method I made by using food to create a food art. You could just put a chicken and this is fine. There's another thing we could use. In my last class, I said my last class, during the, so I'm gonna do, I don't want to mess this up. I'm just going to try to teach different ways of plating method to add beauty to the meal. So this was what I did the last time where I placed my chicken, and some people said it looks it looks like frog. So this was what I did. I don't know if you guys can see. This is a pepper sauce, and I used it to create like a zigzag thing. I don't know if this is clear. So you could place your chicken in here if you want to serve chicken, or you could place small chops or anything here. Of course, small chops, like let's say spring roll. Spring roll is what's the color of spring roll? It's almost like a natural color. If I place some spring roll here, tell me if it's not going to bring out colors. It's definitely going to bring out this plate. Using this plate to serve, it's definitely going to bring out beauty, because this soy sauce, the hot sauce is red, and it's going to give the plate and the spring roll itself some color contrast, which will make it the beauty of the plate to come out. So the last time what I did was I just placed all my chicken here, so it doesn't make, if I put all the chicken here, but doing this would give it another effect. So those are the two methods of plating that I know. The first one is just using your plate. Like when I go out, I look out for beautiful plates as much as possible. Like if you want to be into this plating thing, you have to look out for things that are unusual, beautiful plates, because those beautiful plates alone will give your plating a different game, to give it a different look. So is either you use just plating as a plating, just plating as a plating method, just beautiful plates as a plating method, or you use food itself to create art, to add beauty to the picture. And as you all know, me, I'm used to using just plates, but I make sure the food I'm using have contrast. I make sure that the food I'm using have contrast. I make sure I put colors into the food. And always I use my rose at the background, or maybe just the green plant alone itself. So those are the two methods, anyone that you're comfortable with. And you can use no, there's all some numerous effects you could get with plating by using food or puree or anything. I'm going to show you one I use for puree. Like, let's say I don't think I came out with a lot of plates just because of space. Yeah, I'm going to put this aside. I'm still going to use the same hot sauce and show you just one chicken, right? So you could do this. Normally I'm supposed to use something more thick, so I hope it works. So I'm using a saucer. I'm just going to put this. Because there's so many things I could do to make this, to give just this hot sauce to beautify the plate, but I won't do some because I'm wearing white. It's going to splash on my plate. I could just get a spoon and eat it on this, then it's going to splash all over the plate. And believe me, because you didn't just create it, it's going to come in odd ways. So that alone will give it beauty. Or I could use my spatula. This plate is not wide enough to just spread it. And I could place my chicken across it or just on one side. To me, this doesn't look so, I need to clean my hand immediately, good, because my hot sauce is not, it's not thick enough, it's loose. But I hope you guys get the idea. Normally, maybe I would have used, what's it called? Avocado, like mashed avocado. That would work. Or I think even ketchup could work more. And the plate is a bit small. So I'm just trying to spread it one more time. Then if I use some of the most of all these things, I don't pre-plan it, but I just make sure I have the basic thing so that when I try one thing and it doesn't work, I give it more effects. I add more things to it. Then Zoom, I come out with my picture. So if I want to take this kind of picture, I may still have to use most of the time I like using white background because white comes out well in anything you do. So if I want to take this picture now, I'm going to focus more on the chicken. So like I said, I've even forgotten that I'm teaching, but I'm already looking for my fiber to clean my camera because I'm so used to it already. Without cleaning, if you have a dirty lens, your picture is definitely not going to come out fine. So I just want to see if we can do like a practical. No, I messed this up. Okay, I need to watch that. So I'm going to try take picture with this. I'm going to take the picture and show you guys. I'm going to take two pictures. Then you guys will tell me which one you think is more. But it's so, I don't know if you guys can see. What do you guys think? Hello?
Beautiful.
Are you sure?
Let me see. I'm not seeing your phone well. John, let me reduce that TV. I can't see the phone well. It looks colorful.
You see, we didn't use so much thing. It's just something I have at home, just chicken, just leaf and pepper sauce. Now we have something nice. And for this, I'm zooming the picture in, like I'm not capturing all the plates, but because I want you guys to see it, I don't know how I'm going to do this, like, because I'm using the system and of course it's not high enough. So I'm going to take another picture, taking everything, then you tell me which one you prefer most. This is so far, which is not the right way to take picture. Like some people want us to see, what do you think to this, with this? I hope I wish I can project this.
The first one is more enticing.
Thank you. Why? Because I zoomed, I zoomed the picture, I didn't zoom, I didn't use the zoom option, but what I did is I make sure my phone is very close to the chicken.
Yes.
So that's the best way to take food picture for me, because it shows you, it shows you precisely what the food is. And with that, of course, because you understand what the food is, you want to you want to have it, and it gives it more, it makes it more appealing to the eye than this. We can see the plates, we can see the picture, we can see everything, we can see the plant, your plant self. But okay, what are you selling? What are you doing? Like, it's not like, I see so many people do that, like they want us to see the whole thing. Like, it's not possible. Sometimes it's not always easy to capture everything on your table. But if you can focus, what is your focus in the food? Like, you might have several things on your plate. What are you focusing on? What do you want us to see? Sometimes you have to use that, and our phones have so many options that most of us don't explore. We have live, you can use live focus. Like when you have so many things on the table and you just want to focus on one thing, the effect it gives, use live focus, it blurs the other things at the back, which also gives it its own beauty, and also makes you, I mean, it's also helping you to define that food itself, making it so obvious and people are able to see it, and it's more appealing to the eyes. So if you are part of people that likes to take picture and wants all your plates to show, except you're using, like most of the time, except you're using like a professional camera that it's able to zoom and capture things, and still is able to zoom and you're able to capture everything. If I mean, aside that, using a phone camera, you might not be able to capture everything fully, and at the time, but we might be able to capture everything fully, but it's not going to bring out the beauty of the meal. But if you're able to zoom it, it brings out the color. Like the two different, of course, there are same things in the plates that I took the picture, but the only difference is you zoom in. Make sure you zoom on the main food. It defines the food. We're able to see what the food looks like. I really had a challenge taking a picture of that my plate, because that plate is wide, and I really wanted people to see the food itself. So if you guys notice, you see that I have the picture of the meal in different angles. And also always make sure you're taking food in how would I put it, in like in angles. Like, there's one rule to food plating when it comes to placing food on placing items or food in plates. Make it odd, like I said the other time, make it odd way. So take pictures from angles, like almost like a tilting angle. Like it gives it a different feel. That's what I've seen in the past than just taking picture in a straight manner. Like, no, when you take food in different angle, like maybe you have to tilt your phone a bit, like I'm doing. Like most of the time, I don't take my food this way. I'm always tilting my phone a bit. Like I don't know how to teach this because I'm not a professional photographer, but these are things that me have done in the past, and I see that it helps me. And also because if you all notice, there's a way um Instagram, most of them, for me, I do most of Instagram and Instagram most times. There's a way Instagram will crop your picture. Like by the time you finish taking your picture and you want to post it on Instagram, Instagram might have cropped out some ways. Or if you use that auto crop thing, then it reduces the picture. Like it's gonna give you the full picture. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Like that when you want to post picture on Instagram, the bottom part, I have issue with that. The bottom part that when you click it, it crops everything. You're able to see everything, but then it would have zoomed it in. Is it out or in? It would have zoomed it in. Then the beauty of the picture will not really come out. So what I do is I make sure I've zoomed my picture, my food very, very well, so that even if I'm going to use that zoom, that cropping thing Instagram has, that auto crop, by the time it zooms it in, it's not still going to affect the way my picture is going to come out. It's not going to still affect want it to come out. So taking picture like almost in a slant way really helps with the food, and also decorating it with anything. I was going to cook today, but I couldn't cook due to some other things. And this was part of things this was part of thing I wanted to use. This is a jotter. I don't know if you guys can see. I think the light might be too much. Or is it okay for you guys? I'm thinking of pushing the lights back.
Yeah, push it back a bit.
Okay. The issue you have also would have with lighting, like when you're taking picture, you don't want the light to be too close also to the food, because it just makes the food too bright. It makes the food too bright, and most of the time I use white plate. So by the time it makes it too bright, then you won't be able to distinguish or be able to identify most of the things that are on the plate from in the food from the plate. So like I was saying, I was going to use a jotter, and I had a plan. I was going to use a jotter as part of my props for picture today. I'm just going to place it somewhere, not standing straight, maybe something like place it in a slant manner, drop a pen on it. I have this jar. I'm just going to put like an orange juice there. I use this during the Thanksgiving as well to take my picture for the meals I prepared. So I'm just going to put this, and I have my tray I was going to use, and just jollof and chicken. And what else? I was just thinking of so many things I was going to use. And believe me, this is going to bring beauty to the picture. Then use either of the rose. I'm so used to using the rose because it has red color, and of course we know red gives contrast to picture because of the nature, and it's red and green. So I'm so used to using this rose. I have other ones, plants I use, but I'm so used to using it. So me using this alone, this and my food, believe me, it's good. And I wasn't going to do any food art. I'm just going to plate it in beautiful white plates, and that's all. And already I'm imagining the picture in my head already. I know it's going to really, really come out fine. So it's just the ability for you to be able to play around with whatever you have. The basic thing is make sure that your phone camera is always clean. Like, your lens is always clean. Make sure you're always clean, because I see so many pictures and I laugh. And I see so many pictures, and some people you will be editing. Some people I hardly edit my pictures. Like I hardly edit it. I know some app that you could use, and I know phones also comes with some good edit, but if you edit too much, it's just going to take away the natural beauty from the picture, the naturalness of the food from the picture. So I'm not saying editing is not good. Of course, photographers edit our pictures, but then we want these things to look natural as possible. So trying to reduce the amount of edit you do on your picture. Make sure your phone camera is good, and make sure you have good lighting. So I know some people have natural lighting in their house. For me, I don't have natural lighting except I go outside. So that's why I use my light or my flash box. But believe me, I'm not so comfortable using those things. I prefer using it outside. But then I don't have any choice. Sometimes I just have to use it, and I might end up wanting to edit my pictures as well. So my tips for you today is sunlight is the best, like natural light is the best effect light you could give to your pictures, your food plating pictures, but you might not be able to get that at all times. So you have to make sure you have light. Like you have to have two lights at least, one on each end. But I know sometimes money could be an issue. So you might want to buy one first, at least put that one at the back or get a reflector. So if you put the light at the back of the food, put a reflector in the front, or buy one first, and when you're able to buy the other one, buy the other one as well. And even if you don't have the light for now, or you have just one light, when you zoom your picture, we don't want to see all the plates then. We want to zoom your picture. I'm sure you guys will come back to tell me that, Temi, thank you. This is really working. Like, make sure you zoom. Sometimes you might have to take several pictures. Like if you have plenty of things on the table, you might, even when you take all the picture, you might not be able to see everything. Like, just take it in different angles. I might have one food and it might have 10 pictures because I'm taking it in different angles. And that's the best way. I don't know. That's the best way for me and best thing I've seen when it comes to food plating. And let me see if I have any other thing written down. You guys can ask questions. And I hope I've been able to pass some knowledge to you guys.
Thank you very much, Temidayo. That was that was a very loaded class. I feel like I just watched a show from Food Network.
Yes, so the basic things, tips you guys have to go home with, like even if you can't remember everything, make sure that you plan ahead of time because you're working with food, and the longer the food stays, I'm sorry, I didn't mention something. I just saw it, I have it here. This is also a good tool. This is just a spraying oil, which we all use, a cooking oil. Why I use this, I hardly use it but I know it's good, is let's say you want to take picture of this. My chicken still looks good. I don't know why, but sometimes you might bring out chicken and they're already looking dry. Please just spray it. You might not want to spray it on the plate. Then you get your plate soiled. So you can just put it somewhere else, quickly spray it and bring it back. Then it helps you. Like I usually face challenges of leaving food. So sometimes when I cook, I want to take all the pictures together because I don't have much time. I might want to go deliver, or maybe clients are coming to pick up. So I'll be rushing but sometimes I remind myself that Temi, just go and take this picture and forget about it. You can't, because there's no way I can leave food and maybe I finish cooking jollof rice. I'm about to cook fried rice and I expect the fried rice, jollof rice to stand and be waiting for me and be to look good. No, it's not possible. So I just have to quickly take that picture. But in some cases, it happens like that. Then you can just spray, depending on what kind of food though. Don't go and spray your ogio and tell me that I say I should spray food. I'm just joking. So when you're like, okay, I always have issue with taking pictures of, I like Ojieyan pepper soup. I always like to take that picture, but I always have issues. And sometimes maybe I might be lazy, my throat might not be able to wait, just want to eat that food. With taking Ojieyan pepper soup, I always have challenge taking Ojieyan pepper soup because those colors, I don't understand them. They just sleep and face same place. But there are so many things you could do to bring out colors from that's an assignment for you guys. I'm not going to tell you so many things you could do to snap ogi and pepper soup together to make the picture, to make the picture come out. One thing I'll say that if you can zoom the picture on the pepper soup and blur the ogi, the picture will come out fine. With maybe a plant at the back or something, the picture will come out fine. But if you want to show the pepper soup and the pepper soup and the, okay, maybe I should ask the question now. Let's say we want to take a picture of pepper soup and ogi. What do you guys think we can add to give it life, to give the picture life? It could be anything, it could be props, it could be food as well. Maybe another food, adding it into the food. The question is thrown out, or maybe you might win something.
Does anyone want to give it a go?
How can we take picture of Ojieyan pepper soup and a
Can
make?
I try?
Yes, please.
Okay, so what comes to mind is for the pepper soup, the color is dark. So use a white bowl. And then for the ogi, the color is white. So use like maybe a dark brown bowl or maybe red, so that way a contrast is created. And then maybe in the ogi, slice some grapes. I don't know, I'm just thinking randomly. So
Awesome.
yeah, so maybe slice some
Awesome.
grapes in there for color, and then in the pepper soup, drop like one habanero pepper
Awesome.
for contrast as well.
Yes, that's
And
perfect.
spinach too.
And
Spinach, yes.
what did you
Spinach.
say today?
Spinach.
Awesome. Yes, spinach. Yes, 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 yes. Like I truly, I have issues taking that picture. Like I have taken one before. So what I did was I just zoomed it and blurred the back, and I used my my tray. So this was showing, and I think I used the tray was showing a bit, so it gives it a picture. But I tried taking it recently, and I was like, oh, I don't have time for this wala. But what was in my mind was like, okay, I was going to put the milk and strawberry in my ogi. Like I was just going to slice strawberry in the ogi. Then the pepper soup, like you said, I said habanero. Then maybe I'll just drop maybe mint leaf. Like normally I put saint leaf in my pepper soup, but of course when it's cooked, the greenness will not show. So I was going to put like a fresh mint leaf on top of it just to give it color. But my sister, my sisters that day, I could not wait. I just drank my pepper soup sharp sharp. Now no picture today. So that's good. Thank you guys for the contribution. So that is, we just have to be creative. We just have to think about what to make this thing beautiful. Like me, I've been lazy these days. Like not that I've been lazy, I've been very, very busy. And by the time I finish cooking, I just want to deliver food to my customer and maybe go pick my kids. So I've not been doing a lot of plating. But as I'm cooking that food, hey, so many things are going through my mind, like, oh my God, I'll just be thinking, I wish I can take picture, blah, 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 blah. Like I buy plates almost every day. Hey, I buy plates. Like when I see beautiful plates, I buy them. And I'm so attracted to white plates because it even makes your job easier. I've bought black plates before, but I didn't really play with it. It makes things easier for you when you use white plates. I'm not saying compose your white plate, but if you notice, and so many things, and things evolve too, like so many backgrounds, PVC. Like if you go on Amazon, you see so many things. Like I'm sure you guys must have been seeing so many food bloggers, so many food vendors taking pictures with different backgrounds, and you'll be wondering, is it their house island or their all these things they buy, they're just like backdrops for photography. You can see them online and buy them. Just investing. You have to invest. So not, I'm not saying you should go and waste all your money and buy things, but you just have to invest. Like now, I bought this whipped cream. Though I wanted to make ice cream, and I didn't see every cream, so they told me they had this. I bought this whipped cream, and I'm so happy with it. Like I have a cake. If I want to take the picture of cake, I'll just whip it under it, place my cake on it, put strawberry on top of it or something. Not so much, and it's good. The kids will also enjoy it. So you just have to sometimes buy things. You might not sometimes where I buy things, I might not have immediate need for them, but then I'll just think, oh, this thing might be useful. I just buy and keep, and surely it will come useful, it will come handy. And
I think Adiola has a question.
yes.
Vivian, please reduce that verb. I just want to say thank you very much to Triple T and Azizat and ETK, the organizers. I'm not a food vendor, but I decided to join so I can at least learn something about food presentation. Because it's not just about cooking and the food being sweet, but how do you present it? And
Yeah.
I gained something here today. It said, don't just arrange the plates, the dishes straight. I gained that because I want to learn to present food in a better manner. I mean, I just cook, I enjoy cooking, right?
Oh,
And I just serve the food. I'm not particular about plating but I've gained something here today. And just to say thank you.
thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay,
Really
thank you for
appreciate
the feedback, Adiola. Does anyone else have any questions? I have a couple of questions. So, my first question was, is rather, where where do you shop? Do you know anywhere to shop all these beautiful tools or all these other useful tools for good
Oh, yeah.
prices? That's the first question. My second question was going to be, I was going to ask you when you were plating the jollof rice. So does it matter whether the jollof rice is still warm or the rice or whatever? Like when you're serving grainy meals, does it matter whether they are still warm, or would it mold better when it's cold, or do I need to rub, like spray oil on the molding bowls before I kind of stuff it? So I was just hoping you could provide like a more detailed explanation.
Oh yeah, you don't need to spray the plates. You don't need to spray the molding bowls, and it doesn't matter if it's hot or cold. This meal has been cooked since God knows when. I think Monday or Tuesday, and I just brought it out from the fridge today. I warmed it few minutes before the class, and it was cold before serving it. So it doesn't matter. The trick about molding rice is make sure you press it, like make sure you compress it in. Because if you just pour it there, imagine, there'll be some kind of holes in there. So by the time you turn it, it's not going to form, it's not going to cake, and it could just crumble. So just make sure you press it and come. You don't need to put oil. Like I've never had to. The only food I ever had to put oil is swallow. Yes, it's only swallow I've ever had to spray my molding bowls before molding it is swallow, like amala, all that. But if it's rice, no, you're perfect. You're good to go. Even beans, the white beans, I didn't have to. I've done that before, and I didn't spray bowls, the bowls. Then I usually shop. My first place is Superstore. Superstore has varieties. Please make sure that when you're going, just go with cash that you want to use. Just leave your card at home, because before you go and check this and say it's Temi, Superstore, you will buy and be tired. Even me, self, I'll buy. I'm about to pay. I'll say, hey, Jesus, who sent me? I'll go and return one thing, carry one. That's how it is. And Canadian Tires too has lovely things. Canadian Tire things might be pricey. Superstore, I don't see them do sales on those things, but Canadian Tire would do sales. So you might want to target when they're on sales. They'll do sales on plates, on dishes, on dinnerwares. You get from there. The cheapest place is dollar store. You get from dollar store, but I don't pick everything I see in dollar store. I just look out for the ones that are unique, but you definitely get from dollar store. So those are the three places I've ever bought stuffs here. And Transport Store is the first place. Like we call it Transport Store here. So Superstore is the first place I go to buy most of the things. Oh, I'm so sorry, Winners. Winners, yes, Winners have unique things too. You might go today and not see them again. They have unique things. So Winners, Atlanta Superstore, Canadian Tire, and Dollar Store. Those are the four places I shop for my kitchenwares and plates. But like I said, of course you find them cheaper at Dollar Store, but you might not see all the nice ones you want. But Canadian Tire will definitely do sales along the way, so you might want to wait and target them. But yes, also you might find things on sales at Winners, but Atlanta Superstore, I've never. Maybe they will do this Christmas. I'll buy.
Thank you very much.
You're
Does
welcome.
anyone else have any questions so that we can let Temi go? Any other questions, comments, feedback? Please remember to try out something after this class. Post on your stories and tag at Triple T Kitchen and at That Foodie Lawyer. I think Triple T has something in store for whoever impresses her the most.
Yes, so especially the rolls.
I think she does, yes. So try out your rolls, your tomato rolls. We're going to tag it Hashtag roast tomato. I mean, what are we talking?
Yes, so hashtag roast tomatoes.
So post on your stories or on your pages and tag us. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. It's been an eventful evening. In the absence of any other question, we're going to call it a day. Thank you so much, Diola. Thank you, Aminat. Thank you. Yes, I actually did really learn a lot too. Like, I used to feel like I can flex some small muscles, but I actually learned so much. Thanks, Temi. Thanks. I'm going to go and try out something right away with whatever I have in my kitchen. And I'll
Yes, yes, whatever you have. You can
Yes,
use your
I'll go and
glasses.
try out
Just put your
something.
glasses somewhere strategic beside your plates. I'm telling you, and put your diary, put your biro, or your pen.
Yeah, because I'm very hungry. So I'll try and I'll try and see what I can do before the other will wire me. So thank you very much, everyone. It was nice to see. I didn't see a lot of faces, but it was nice to have you. Lagos, Halifax, we see you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to Ketify. Thank you. Please, guys, don't be angry about what happened earlier. Thank you, Abiola. Love for cooking food. Thank you, Blessing. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you so much, Temidayo. Well, I'll give you plenty plates to wash this evening. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
That